Hi, I'm Siwei. I'm a jobless recent graduate living in London. Let's talk about how it's going. Yeah, about the whole jobless thing, I guess there are ways I can probably grind it up a little bit, but I can't say it's not true. I graduated in June this summer and then worked in investment banking for 2 months. Right now, I'm just still trying to make it in life in general. How I'm holding up emotionally, you ask? Honestly, it's a weird one because I've never been so confident and sure of my abilities. At the same time, my future's looking as uncertain as it can get, I suppose. If you're smashing it at the moment in your career, congratulations, huge well done. I don't know how you do it, I only know how tough it can be. If you're also struggling, then you might appreciate my channel when we chat and talk about all the difficult stuff in our 20s. Like, not that 20s is the most difficult period of our lives, it's just because I'm in my 20s and I'm struggling, but I'm always struggling, you know, so it's fine. We can both hope that 2024 will be a good one for us. I am going a bit crazy with all this time on my hands, so I've decided to do this, namely YouTube. When I say I've got all this time on my hands, I've still got an endless to-do list, which I first thought doesn't make any sense now that I'm not at university and I also don't have a job. But actually, I think it's precisely because now that I don't have one set career going for me, so I'm spending time exploring multiple directions, which means I have more to do. And you gotta love that. I will get to why I'm starting this channel, but just hear my little backstory, if you will. So I wrapped up my previous internship in IBD, investment banking, in early December. And I guess I did take a little bit of a break, but December ended up being very packed, just because the nature of the holiday seasons. But back then I already decided that I was going to start this channel, or at least I knew I really wanted to. I just knew that when January comes around and all the festive decor goes away and winter just seems a little more bleak, I will really need something that's creative and fun and new to keep me occupied and interested. I have done a little bit of content creation before, so this just feels like the natural progression to take it onto YouTube. I mean, there is probably 1% of me hoping that I'll get famous from this, maybe more than 1%. But I know from previous experience that documentation helps me to reflect, which in turn helps with my personal growth, at least at this stage of my life. So I know that this is something that I will look forward to doing and will benefit from. Now, these are all very selfish reasons. I do really hope to build a community here. So, expect loads and loads of videos coming your way. I hope I'm not just making empty promises, but I am already editing the next one, which leads us nicely onto the next topic of what type of content I will be uploading here. If you know me at all, you know that I can really talk. So I did consider for a second whether a podcast would have been something that made more sense to me, but I do think having a visual aspect will help me to be more creative, and it's just more versatile. And I do want more substance and reproducibility with my materials, in the sense that if I just talked, I might run out of things to say, especially if my life becomes quite uneventful. Now that I'm jobless, I really need to stop saying that. It feels like a curse right now. But yeah, what I mean by substance and reproducibility there was that if I had a couple of themes running on my channel, then I might run out of ideas less frequently, and it would also be more interesting for you guys. I do have, I think, about 5 themes that I have in mind that I could work on. And by themes, I mean like series. But I'm not going to reveal all of them now, just because a lot of them are work in progress, or literally just a thought in my head. So, but I promise you'll be the first to know if I have something more concrete or if I feel ready to share. But my next immediate video is going to be a travel vlog. I did spend New Year's in Rome all by myself. Okay, it sounds really depressing, but I promise it's not. I love solo traveling, and I did vlog my whole time there. I'm already editing it. It has the travel aspects, it has the New Year reflection aspects, it has the being with myself in my 20s getting all emotional aspect. So if that's something that you think you would like to see, please consider subscribing. That would be honestly so kind of you, and it will mean a lot to me, and I hope that I won't disappoint. It is still January, so hopefully it's still acceptable to talk about goal setting. I never really got into the full swing of things with New Year's resolution. I think mainly because I knew I wasn't going to stick with it, both due to disciplinary issues, but also just how quickly life evolves and I grow out of my plans. For example, it's funny how whilst I was in Rome, I did make a few wishes by the Trevi Fountain. Come on, it's the New Year's, I've got to do that. One of the things that I wished for literally no longer applies. I don't even know whether I should cry or laugh about it. And in the past, I've more or less always wished for the same three things that I knew were constants in my life. The first being health and happiness for the people that I love. Second, good grades. And third is losing weight or some sort of beauty related goal, if you will. And the first will always be a constant in my life, but the latter two no longer apply. I'm not a student anymore, and I do not wish to look back, but I guess this goal does quite naturally evolve into setting milestones for a career in industry. And I no longer have body image issues, which I thought would take a lot longer for me to be able to say. I do want to challenge myself with improving just overall lifestyle, fitness, and pick up a few more hobbies. I have actually gained weight in this past year, but I've never felt more comfortable in my own body. And I think that mainly comes down to two factors: finding my style and building my confidence. Through trial and error, I've managed to find clothes that complements my body shape and hairstyles that complements my face shape. I'm not going to pretend these superficial things don't help. They do massively. And also just overall building up your self-confidence. That really does shine through in everything you do, including in photos. And I know it's a lot easier said than done. And I know that body image issues will probably come back and haunt me at some later stage in my life. But for now, for as long as it lasts, I'm just going to be super grateful and really proud of myself that every day when I look in the mirror now, I don't hate what I see. And that feels really good. I will be sparing you the details of my career-oriented and lifestyle goals, which is a bit out of character for me, to be honest, considering how much I overshare usually. But one of my favorite YouTubers, Taylor Bell, shared her 2024 goals video, and one of her higher up fruits, I think that's what she called them, is to move in silence. And I just resonated with the concept so much. I never suffer in silence, and a lot of people think that's a really good thing because that just means I never let negativity build up inside of me. And I genuinely do think this is why I am usually quite a happy person. It's like running a tap, I let it all out and then it's gone and then I'm fine. But as you can imagine, it's quite annoying for my friends and family, especially a lot of the times I have already made a decision. I'm just seeking validation. So this year, one thing that I really need to and want to work on is to take accountability for my own decisions and to try and move in silence. I guess the things that people would be more curious about will probably be what I majored in college, what career I'm pursuing at the moment, and what hobbies do I have, like my day-to-day. But it feels slightly strange to me to list them out one by one as if I were writing my resume. Not that I'm unfamiliar with editing and submitting CVs. We've really got a running theme here. And genuinely with these things, and at the rate I talk, you'll find out soon enough if you stick around. Please consider subscribing. But there are things that I do feel more comfortable sharing. I can't live without music. last quarter I actually started this habit of compiling monthly playlists on Apple Music. The music that I listen to the most are songs with lyrics, and I do consider them to be a form of literature through which I feel seen with what I'm currently going through, but also I get a little preview of emotions that I'm yet to experience in real life. I listen to podcasts a lot, mostly before I go to bed, but I still refuse to listen to Headspace even though I've already paid a yearly subscription for it, because I think somehow I can sort my life out all by myself. Really loving the confidence here. If you've somehow stumbled upon this channel, congrats. No, welcome, that's the right one. Genuinely so happy that you're here. I mean, the only reason I'm filming this is because I hope somebody will be watching, right? And wishing you a very, very good 2024, and I hope to see you again. Bye for now. Please consider subscribing. Please consider subscribing.